Hey, good evening, everybody. It's Monday night again, May 21st, 2018, and I'm Rusty here from Stunthangar Control Line Forums to talk about aeromodeling and whatever else you like to do in your workshop or out at the racetrack, lake, etc. And so we have a video audience. You'll have hopefully click the links in the Stunthangar Control Line Forums and the bench thread that's in the forum called live streaming, and that'll give you the link to come in here with your camera and microphone and talk to us live. Or that same thread gives you the link to the YouTube page with the chat box. And if you are a subscriber to the Stunthangar, that's 2 words, Stunthangar YouTube channel, then depending on how you have your notification set, you'll have your bell ring and you'll get the link to come in here and visit us with the chat box. And it looks like we've already got our first video viewer. Thank goodness I don't have to make up a bunch of stuff to talk about. Hey, Jamie. Uh-oh. Jamie's not moving. There we go.
Uh-huh.
Jamie's eating supper, it looks like.
Boy.
Yeah, a growing boy. Yeah, I think you told us the other night what your height was, and I was astounded to realize you're a tall guy. Seeing you in your little thumbnail image and on the videos, I didn't guess that that was true. But I met one of my best buddies from Cox Forums, Kim Stricker. I met in real life for the first time last year when he came to Huntersville last May 2017, and he's a huge dude. I had no idea, like shaking hands with an oak tree. Never can tell, even when you see him in face on the screen. So what you been doing for fun?
Now, a lot.
So did you end up with only one coat of clear on that one wing panel and the rest has got 2 coats?
Yeah, pretty much only one coat on this side, on the, but I mean, you can still see it has it, you know, it just don't have as much as everywhere else.
Yeah.
Now, it's not all thick and shiny, you know, like well done ships, you know, but that's because the prep on this thing, ain't all that. But in the areas where it's really thick, it's actually pretty smooth.
Now, is the clear coat on top of the decals, or are the decals on top of the clear coat?
The decals on top. It's some that 109 kit.
Yeah. Wouldn't hurt.
Whenever I build that 109, I'm going to get custom stuff.
If you get the chance, it's probably not a bad idea to put some clear on top of the decals too, just to keep the edges from peeling up. I've tried clear fingernail polish, but it kind of turned white and looked crappy, so I quit doing that.
Where the clear did not hit that good, where I didn't hit it that good, and that's on the leading edge. Because after flying and cleaning it,
yeah,
it started coming off the paint, so you got like little traces of white.
Yeah.
On the very, I didn't like hold it up, and I just sprayed on top. I didn't catch the front, which is not, terrible. And it kind of got a weathered look to it, but that's whatever.
That's okay. There was probably just a little contamination or something there, so it didn't stick real good. What you got for supper there?
Meatball stew.
Your audio's breaking up so bad I can hardly understand anything you say. That one sentence was pretty good.
Yeah, I got the meatball stew going.
Now I can hear you. Meatball stew, is that what Italian? Red marinara sauce? They call it gravy.
Yep. Hear that baby crying.
Speaking of Italian, our buddy Al from the Middlesex Aeromodelers hadn't been in with us lately. I miss him. He's got a good source of information on everything from combat to engines and just about everything else. And Jim Ballard hadn't been in with us in a long time. I've been thinking about shooting him a PM or something, seeing if he wants to come visit with us again.
I think Facebook last week when I posted the Dallas flyer, I think he did for sure. But it's been a while since I heard from him.
He might have gotten burned out on us. I suppose that could happen. You got any fly-in plans or anything this week?
Houston.
Oh, all right.
That's in Houston.
So that's this coming weekend?
Yeah.
You're going to fly beginner, right?
Contest as beginner. No more beginner flying for me.
If you got all of your full pattern maneuvers figured out yet?
I'm doing the outside squares Saturday. Actually, you know, flying up and actually trying outside squares.
Yeah.
So I'm doing them, trying them one at a time. The reverse wing over is no problem. The clover leaf is really no problem. Doing the hourglass, overhead eights, triangles, you know, just starting to feel my way with them.
Yeah. Hey, Sparky's in here with us. Hey, Sparky.
What's up? My computer's acting weird.
Yeah. Jamie's was acting weird a minute ago, but it cleared up. What kind of problem you got on your end?
It's choppy, like the bandwidth is too high or something. I don't know.
On this end, you look pretty good. You sound normal. I'm not seeing any chop on your signal.
I just turned the bandwidth down. I don't know.
Well, anyway, I looked at that video you called me about on Sunday morning. No problem. It's almost hardly noticeable. And then later, well, first I went to it. It was a couple of hours before I went and took a look, and it was hardly noticeable what you were telling me to look at. And then I got a notification that you had posted something else, so maybe you did some re-editing. I don't know, later on in the day, and I looked at it, and I heard you say to not, for what you wanted to show them about covering, not to watch Rusty's Hangout videos, to watch Sparky's tutorial videos. So,
Right.
yeah, so that's good. Yeah, I'm definitely not the go-to guy for silking and doping. I do my fuselages and all of my solid wood parts, but I still have never silk spanned an open bay wing before.
I can't believe them guys didn't know about plasticizing dope.
Yeah, you asked him if he knew why it was cracking over time and had to tell him that it's because it continues shrinking. Is that what you mean? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, I told him about adding 1 drop of castor oil per ounce of dope. He had never heard that.
That's them volunteers for you.
Nah, this guy he was full-blown military, I think, wasn't he?
Oh, was he?
Yeah, but he was a older guy, retired military.
Yeah. He knew his 1950s, 60s stuff pretty well. And,
Right.
That would look like a pretty good gathering, though. There were a lot of people and looked like a lot of good
11,000. There was 11,000 people there that weekend.
Whoa, boy, that was a lot.
It's the fullest I ever seen it. They made us park in the grass and they shuttled us on golf carts. place was jammed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it draws that much interest.
I got me that girl that did the spiel.
Yeah.
They talked me into donating to the Memphis Belle, and I ended up getting a gold coin.
All right.
My camera's hung up. Am I still moving on your end?
You're jumpy. Your audio's fine, but your video's jumpy.
Let me see if I got extra programs running.
Yeah, I usually reboot before I start the show, and when I went to reboot tonight, it wanted to update before it came back, and I didn't have time for all that crap because I think Windows is putting a big update out this week, and so I just postponed it and went into Task Manager and killed all the Chrome windows and restarted Chrome.
That's all I got running is Chrome. Huh.
Chrome can open a bunch of windows, but that's by design so that if one section of it does freeze up or something, then it won't bring the whole browser down. It'll just stop one extension from working.
Let me close some of these out, if that helps. I don't think so.
I spent a pretty good bit of time out in the shop Saturday and Sunday, and I'm sore as hell now paying for it, but I guess that's a good kind of sore from getting out. But that concrete floor really sucks the life out of your legs after a while. But I got to try out my Superfill, and it's set up and sanded really nice, just like everybody said. I didn't put enough on some places, so I need to.
Coin.
Oh, let me click on you. You went black when I clicked on you. Okay.
It's hung up.
Yeah, we're not getting a picture on you now. Yes.
Let me restart this. I'll be back.
Okay. Jamie, do you go get your score sheets after you fly in a contest and keep them and read them and look over them?
Oh yeah, I still got all the ones I have before.
When in my first couple of contests, I didn't know you could do that. Just go get them off the clipboards, and then so ever since I figured out you can get them and read them, I've been collecting them just to kind of compare notes. A lot of people tell me it's worthless to do that, but I have you know, learned a little bit about how a judge thinks. So that's good for me because I'm trying to learn to think like a judge.
Yeah.
I enjoyed doing that at Huntersville. Okay, Sparky's about to pop back in. Let's see if we can get a look at his coin this time.
What the hell? I guess my camera's hanging up. Oh, shit. Might be this stupid cord.
Nobody's joined our YouTube chat box. I'm going to go over here and check and make sure that side of things is okay. We should have somebody in there by now. Pop it back in.
Okay, let's try this now.
And we got 7 YouTube watchers now.
Yeah, there we go. I think the cable is taking a crap.
Yeah, maybe sometimes the modem gets clogged up too.
Here's that coin.
Okay, now I'm
Oh.
clicking on you. Yeah, now we got you. Wow, that's nice. So it's
That's
encased
pretty
in
cool.
plastic.
Yeah.
You got glare tilted a little bit back and forth. There, we got it. Looks good. That's pretty cool.
That'll be a collector. That's why I just had to donate to them to get it, because they didn't have that many.
Frank Washburn just joined us over on the chat box. I think he did. My chat box is not working right now, but I'm hoping I'll see Frank pop. There he is. Okay. Hey, Frank, glad to see you with us. What's up, Rusty? That's what Frank says. And Frank, are you going to be able to join us live tonight, or are you going to have to watch from the YouTube sidelines again? Anyway, glad to have you on. Gerald's here. Sparky and Jamie having trouble getting in tonight. Hope to join if it lets me. Okay, so Gerald will be here in a minute, I hope. Frank says, hey, Sparky, thanks for posting the Memphis Belle video.
Well, I hope the video quality was good. It was shot with the Osmo.
It was pretty good. When I looked at it, there was only one or two spots where there was so much background noise it was hard to hear you talking, but for the most part it was all really good, and the video quality was really good too.
The audio quality is shit on it, so I'm still learning with it. When that lady came over the loudspeaker, it threw the rest of the video track off for the rest of the day.
Oh.
So I've got an H4n video recorder. I'm going to record the audio separate and then dub it in from now on. One more pain in the ass.
Yeah, that's the trouble with hobbies. Always more stuff to buy and tinker with and figure out.
We got about 3 weeks before we'll be at Brodax. Going to do a big Brodax movie.
Yeah, good. I'm looking forward to that. I'll be at the beach the week of Brodax, I believe. Next,
I'll probably be.
Is anybody going to Brodax that you know that I can send the monocoat back with?
Yeah, well, let's see. Will Davis will be there. And if Wayne Robinson is there or Mike Lindler, you can send it back with them. And I'll remind you of Mike's name when the time comes, if you don't know him, but I know you know who Wayne is.
I know who Will Davis is.
That will work. Whereas Will's 2 hours from me, but either way, yeah, give it to Will and he can get it to anybody I want that's closer to me. So that'll work. Yeah, just give it to Will. That's the simplest thing.
I got something else I'm going to give him to give to you.
Oh, okay, thanks. Hi, Gerald just hit us with a greenie from the super chat box. Thank you, Gerald. He says he enjoyed your video too.
Well, thank you, Gerald.
Some of these guys should be dropping in with us pretty soon. But anyway, like I was saying, I got out and played with my superfill a little bit, and there were a couple of spots where I didn't put enough. So, I got a little low spot in it after sanding. I realized I need to go back over it and build it up a little bit more. I was being conservative on purpose, and yeah, but it looks good. I started on the nose ring where I had to manually saw some of it. That was after my scroll saw quit. What a great place for the scroll saw to quit. So on a piece of round balsa like that ring, and it took a chunk out of it when the blade just seized up in the middle of the sawing.
You know what? I know now why the video's so choppy. It's raining outside.
Oh, you going through a satellite dish?
No.
Still, though, the rain still screws with cable a little bit. Man, we were popping transformers the other day. I guess it was, I don't know when the rain started coming in. So it was one day last week, and looking out the window, you could see blue flashes and hear transformers popping. I think that's just the fuses blowing when we hear that. One of them threw the fuse off onto the ground in a flaming arc, ballistic arc.
It's storming outside like a big dog. No wonder why the video is acting weird.
Yeah, well, that's all right. You can't do anything about Mother Nature. We'll just have to deal with the choppy video, but your audio is good. And here comes Jamie's little baby. Hey, baby. Hey. That's a little boy or a little girl?
It's a little girl.
Yeah, I need to click on it so the tubers can see it. There we go. Hey, pretty girl.
She's mad.
What you done did to make her mad?
Oh, that's her mama.
Blowing her honker with that blue industrial strength rag probably doesn't make her happy.
Yeah.
But if you want her,
She mad.
if you want her to grow up and be a industrial strength girl, though, you got to use blue rags on her. Here comes Steve Hines.
Okay. The dog played. I want to hear you complain about it. Do you think cleaning, like glass cleaner, would get that off of there?
No, I don't.
What y'all talking about, Steve?
No, do
You
you
should
think? I
show
don't
her.
want to ruin
Show
it,
him.
though.
Oh, she got a little bit of glue on her
The cat.
cap.
Oh,
The girls, they decorate them all, and
that looks good, though.
Hope she used Bob
Can't see
Smith.
any errant glue from the camera viewpoint.
What's wrong, girl? What's wrong?
What?
Mm-hmm.
Did I try it?
teach her how to do some gluing tonight, Jamie.
Huh?
I said, teach her how to do some gluing tonight.
I should try to do some gluing tonight.
No, teach her. Put some CA in her hand and have her glue for you.
Oh, good idea, Steve. Steve, you ought to write a baby book, Steve.
Better use her paintbrush and have her dope some.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's like Samantha. You know, when we were there at Chris Rudd's and she's gluing all this stuff together, you know. And I said, you know, tell her really little, you know. I said she tends to over glue. And she glues my hands, everything. And, you know, Chris goes, now put some on there. She put it on there, all right. I was like, okay. He goes,
No.
yes.
More.
Oh, you said put more.
Then I glued it fine, and he's like, a little more, and then.
Oh, he said a little more. A little more was a lot more. But that's all right.
It's supposed to disappear into the joint.
Yeah. Man, I think I'm allergic to dope. Now.
Okay.
How does it bother you?
I get headaches, sick to my stomach. I mean, I just have to open a jar and just smell the smell of it. And it's just an instant headache. And I mean, I worked in the lacquer department for 16 years at Guardsman, doing all that stuff there. Washed my hands.
Cumulative.
Never bothered me.
You might have a cumulative buildup, allergic buildup. So,
I mean, last year when we did it, it didn't bother me at all.
Hmm.
I mean, nothing. And now every time I just open a jar, I'm just an instant headache.
Has dope got MEK in it?
No. What kind of dope, Steve?
Randolph. I went to Randolph from SIG.
That's odd. They're both made the same plant. One's certified, and the other one is Randolph.
And I don't know. I've never had this problem before. You know, and basically, I'm super allergic to mold. But that's from being exposed to black mold over and over and over in my job. And it's like if I go into a building, we don't need to test it. If I'm in there for a couple minutes, I can't breathe and stuff like that. But now this dope is doing the same thing to me. And yesterday, I even wore my damn mask just mixing. dope, but not spraying, not brushing, just mixing, and I got a headache. After I got done, I took the mask off, and just the smell in the air is just it's killing me, and I don't know what's going on.
Does toluene bother you?
It never used to, but it may now. You know, I don't know what's going on.
Because dope is not lacquer. It's not paint. It's glue.
Yeah, it's nitrocellulose. We used to make bases for all kinds of different companies when I worked at Guardsman. And we got in all different kinds of nitrocellulose. It was hold on one second.
The only kind of dope that has MEK in it is Aerogloss.
Yeah, I remember reading that on the Aerogloss bottle.
Yeah, methyl ethyl ketone.
Yeah. We used to use that at work as a solvent in the service department working on copy machines. And it always made me feel kind of sick working with it. But they always warned us that it was really, the fumes were really, really bad for your liver. So if you inhale it, your liver will trap it, and it never really goes away after that. It just kind of builds up.
Yeah. Used to live in a 55-gallon drum of that shit.
Oh, I know. That's the same thing with me at Guardsman. I mean, it wasn't like we made a gallon of lacquer. We'd make 3,000 gallons a day of some of that stuff. And I mean, the MEK that went in it was pumped in by hundreds of gallons, and toluene and all that kind of stuff, you know.
You guys ever use any MIK, methyl isopropyl ketone?
Yeah, we had that there. The biggest stuff we quit using was the stuff they put in stripper, and that's methyl ethyl chloride. And that went into stuff too, and they took all methyl ethyl chloride right out of the building. We couldn't even have it in the building. But all the guys that worked around that with, you know, because I did the pumps and motors and gearboxes and all that kind of stuff around it. And I got the prostate cancer. 5 of us got prostate cancer in that department. 3 died, and 1 guy got stomach cancer and died. But the whole crew of all 6 of us all had cancer.
When I was in the Navy, I don't know if I ever told you guys this story, but at Miramar, we worked 4 days on, 3 days off, 4 10-hour days when we were on shore. And I never wore a uniform. I always wore green coveralls. So I wore my civvies underneath and then just put the coveralls on and went to work. Well, for instance, I painted them with epoxy paint. And they always wondered how the hell they always looked so good. Well, they were painted with plastic. You know, they looked great.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't know why I remembered that, but they looked like Corfams in a way. They were so shiny.
Yeah, my ex-wife, you know, she always said that I breathed out thinner fumes at night in bed. She could always
Really?
Yeah, she could smell it coming out of my pores, but she said my breath was always smelled like lacquer thinner.
Oh, that's
And
awful.
when I could only use a certain pillowcases because that shit would come out of my pores and actually stick. You could see it on the pillowcase just from the vapor and everything else, pigments and everything else floating in the air.
Man, that's rough.
Yeah, it was you know, but my dad, shit, he worked there 29 years. A lot of them guys worked there a ton of years and nothing ever happened. Then right at the end is when it seemed like all of us were getting cancer and stuff.
Did y'all have a decent, powerful negative pressure hood in there to ventilate everything out the roof?
Yeah. They said it was up to code.
Yeah. They
But
said,
you know, that's, you know, everybody used to drive by and they're like, oh my God, how can you work there? When we drive by along the expressway, it almost makes me throw up. And I told him, I said, I don't even smell it. I could walk in there and not ever smell the place anymore. When I first started for a couple weeks, it'd make me sick to my stomach and stuff. But after that, I just got used to it. And I couldn't smell anything. I remember my dad, we'd have different thinner and shit around there, and he'd be looking for naphtha for his lighter. And he's always sticking his nose in these containers, breathing real hard, trying to figure out what it was. And then I got the same way. I couldn't distinguish the smell of
It burns the membranes
acetone
in your
or
nose out.
what's that?
It burns the membranes in your nose out.
It does something to your taste buds too, because I remember always complaining about when my dad cooked. He made everything way too hot, too much pepper, too much salt, too much, you know, everything like that. We always complained. After I started working there, I love my dad's cooking.
well, did you eventually regain your sense of smell and taste as time went on after you left?
Yeah, I guess, you know, I taste okay, but there's a lot of things that I don't like the taste of. I don't know if I taste them the same way other people do or whatever.
Yeah, maybe not.
That's like guacamole. That stuff turns my stomach. I don't know what it is. Everybody loves that stuff. And that will just absolutely turn my stomach.
It's got a pretty mild flavor anyway.
Well, guys, you came on so late. I gotta go to bed.
All right. Sorry.
Hey, you gonna make it to the Chicago contest this weekend, Sparky?
I have planned on it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry we're such night owls, but get you a good night of sleep and we'll see you Friday, I guess.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Take her easy, man.
All right, see you later. Fair winds, tight lines. See ya.
Anybody heard from Tom?
No, not lately. I should send him a text tomorrow.
You have?
No, not me.
You heard from him?
Not me. When his
I
dad
thought-
was in the hospital at first, he texted me a couple of times, and before he went to the Memphis Belle, but I haven't talked to him since then.
Yeah, I talked to Jeff, and he said that he brought an airplane and stuff, and they were going to fly. But I don't know, talk to his dad or whoever, whatever. He decided Thursday morning to pack it up and go back home.
Yeah.
So I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing, or if he just figured that there's stuff for him to do. Or I was kind of hoping he'd be on there, tonight, letting us know how his dad was doing.
I'll try to remember to shoot him a text tomorrow and see if he's okay. I'm sure.
How many kids you got, Jamie? Just the one?
I got two. I got a 6-year-old. Yeah, 6-year-old, and that mean thing I had in my hands a little bit ago.
She's so cute. She seems good. She wasn't fussing or anything.
Oh, she was. That's why I went to get her. She was. Couldn't hear it.
Oh, she was fussing before you had her, huh?
Oh, yeah.
She just wants to be with Dad a little bit.
There's an issue going on right now, so she's all 10 cons of hell.
Yeah. And don't last long.
Oh, man. But I flew to primary force shadow.
How did it fly?
Not bad. We had to add a trim tab on the outboard wing, which was like like a thick cellophane plastic. It was angled, and we just used packing tape to hold it on there, and it was great. I mean, because before the outboard wing would come up.
Yeah.
And once we had that tab on there, it was great. It was good. The only problem I was having, the tank just wasn't working out. So when I go into verticals and whatnot, the motor wouldn't come on to give me that extra oomph. So on my outside loops, it would slow down on my outsides, and it would just drag.
What kind was it? A metal tank?
It was a metal tank, and I was a Uniflow, and I'm running pressure, and it just wasn't working out. And so when I go to my overheads, it would just get kind of slack. It was like it had no power. You know, you just couldn't you couldn't hear it come on. Like with my 25 and the Ringmaster, I could hear when that motor, when I go vertical, you know, it just turns on. With that one, it wasn't doing it.
Well, next time, try running it with the vent open instead of pressure and see if that changes anything. Some of them just don't like that pressure, and some of them get along with it fine.
Yeah.
I prefer to run pressure, but some of my engines don't like it.
I wasn't sure if that tank was a Uniflow or not. I figured it was because the top vent was kind of bent forward, but this tank obviously had worked on before. In other words, somebody done opened it up and you resoldered it together. You can just tell by all the joints, all the seams. It's terrible. And so I went ahead and I bought another 3.5 ounce Uniflow tank, same one that's on my Ringmaster, and so I know it'll work all right. So, and if I notice that it's still doing the same thing, I'll take the exhaust line off and see if it makes a difference.
Gerald says he can't get into the Stunthangar forum to get the link. It says it's overloaded or too busy. So I don't know. Maybe you can reboot or something and get it to clear up, Gerald. I don't know. I don't have any idea.
20 more dollars super chat.
I can try to get off a second and let him try to get back on, and then I'll see if I can come back in.
It's worth a try. We can do it. Gerald, Steve's going to sign off for a minute. When you see him disappear, try again. But I think it's Stunthangar.
I can send him the link through Facebook.
It's Stunthangar that he can't get into. It's not the Google Hangout. I don't think that's got anything to do with it, Steve.
Oh, I thought
I got into it really quick. That's why I was going to go back out and go back all through it again and see if I can get in. And
oh, okay. Well, see what happens. Maybe Stunthangar's hanging up or something. There could be a server problem over there.
All right, I'll be back. I'll be trying back on in a minute.
Okay.
Good, because I'm on it right now on my phone.
Yeah.
But yeah, running a Thunder Tiger 11.4.5, and it just does creep. I mean, it runs good. I don't have to adjust the needle. The run is pretty good.
I've used that prop before, but I don't remember what engine it was. Now, I know I used a Thunder Tiger prop on my FX46 that was on the Magnum, but it wouldn't have been the same size. But those Thunder Tiger props are the ones I've always seen are gray colored. Is that right? Is that what you got? Looks a little like an APC in color, but it's shaped more like a master air screw.
Yeah, it's about a lighter gray than APC.
That's
APC
right.
got that like cloudy gray. This is like a lighter gray.
Yeah. Here comes Gerald. Hey, Gerald.
Hi, I'm Rusty. Hello, Jamie.
Don't know how or why, but we're glad you got in. Here comes Steve back too. So
thanks, Steve. It might have helped. I don't know.
Stunthangar might have been hitchy or something for a minute.
Yeah, it came back onto Google slow, but it went through Stunthangar fast.
Okay.
But once I come to the Google thing, it kept, looks like it's ringing or whatever.
Yeah.
It kept doing that, but.
Your problem was obviously a lot worse here. I just couldn't get onto the Google Chrome thing. It just wouldn't start up there, and then it wouldn't go into Stunthangar. It would go into eBay and other sites, but it kept saying Stunthangar was too busy. So maybe it's just a busy night. Things aren't going normally.
Might be. Things with the server could be going on. So, but anyway, now that you're in, you probably got a lock on your queue, so hopefully you won't disappear on us.
Yeah, I think my wife will probably come down the drive and bang on the door, and I'll have to run off. She's working off site today, doing some tree planting as part of a community project that they want them to do.
Well, I watched her flying today. You were out in the circle with her, telling her where to do the wing over, but she looked pretty comfortable and relaxed out there.
Yeah, the video's a couple of years old, I think, when I shot it. But she's flown for a long time now. It's just a matter of me coming up with some better models that she can try her hand at, and practicing doing the schedule, sticking to a routine.
That was one of those old handles with a spike on it, so you can jam it in the ground.
Yeah, or in your opponent when you're doing combat. But yeah, I've got quite a lot of. I got used to flying those old handles. I sort of just cut replicas of them ever since my early days of control line. I cut them out of 1/4 inch or 3/8 or 1/2 inch ply as the need got for a bigger handle, and I just increased the line spacing. When I originally bought them, they were really for a kid, so they were too small. So I redesigned it bigger. But yeah, that goes back to the early 80s when I started using that pattern.
It looked like the one she was using had a really wide line spacing on it.
Yeah, it is quite a wide spacing.
Depends on your bell crank. You know, if you got a 4-inch bell crank, then I guess you need a wide line spacing. Remember what my Skyray had, whether it was a 3-inch or a 4-inch crank on it.
This is a 3-inch bell crank. It's the standard 3-inch bell crank in it.
Hey, Gerald, you guys got volcanoes there in New Zealand?
We do, but it's a volcanic area in Rotorua. We don't have an active volcano as such. There's one offshore, White Island, that's close to New Zealand. It's active. They used to harvest sulfur from something in the past. They had like a factory set up there on White Island, and it got demolished in a volcanic eruption. But nothing like they've got there in Hawaii. It's not that active.
Yeah, for some reason, I don't know, one of the channels there, they've been doing a whole bunch of stuff on New Zealand. And they were just showing it, and I'm like, man, that looks a lot like Hawaii on some of the mountains.
Yeah, some of it does, yeah. I used to enjoy watching Hawaii 5.0 and Magnum what was it he called? Magnum PI, just those programs about Hawaii, because again, it does remind you a bit of New Zealand, the territory.
Yeah, they were showing all the dolphins, and you guys got some cool looking dolphins and stuff. Where, I guess that's big to come watch the dolphins and the whales and stuff like that. I don't know if it's a tourist thing all of a sudden, but there shows just different things about New Zealand, hot springs. And
which channel is it you're seeing that on, Steve? Travel, maybe.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I flipped through. I need to find out the name of it and try to get online to find out when the programs are on. But
yeah, I mean, since I've got a friend in New Zealand now, I'm a little more interested, so I might try to look at it.
Yeah, I mean, it's like I can't believe all the difference in area where it's like tropical and like what I call normal. I mean, hot springs, and it was pretty cool. All the different things are showing there.
It is quite diverse. The climates from the bottom of New Zealand to the top, there's quite a range of temperature. It'll probably be around 15 degrees from the bottom of the bottom island, Stewart Island, to the top.
How high are the tallest mountains in New Zealand?
Mount Cook, I think, is the tallest, but it's only a patch on those in the Himalayas. It's just medium size, I suppose you could say. I'd have to consult my old school geographic book to tell you the answers on that one, or I'd have to Google it. But
he'd tell us in meters, and we wouldn't even have an idea anyway.
There's a good range of scenery. It is a tourist mecca in the sense that a lot of people come here to see the scenery. You don't really come here for control line, though. I suppose coming to the nationals here would be fun, but we do get people visiting from Europe sometimes to participate. Like I met one guy who was from Sweden. He had stayed for a month over our Christmas period, and he was taking on all the different aeromodeling events over the Christmas New Year's period. And we do get a few people visiting out here with an interest in control line or aeromodeling, but most of it is just aimed at bringing in tourists from Asia and America and Europe. But yeah, we have become overrun with tourists by comparison to when I was young. It's become a real tourist destination. I think people just see it as a safe destination that they can come to.
George Gonzalez joined us a few minutes ago from Colombia, South America. Good to have you on, George.
I just want to go to Shire. That's all I want to see.
Go to where?
I want to go to New Zealand so I can see the Shire. You know, and Gondor and all that. You know, the hobbits.
Oh,
and
the Hobbit
one
movie.
ring to rule them all. You know, Lord of the Rings.
yeah, they've got a Hobbit museum down in Masterton. But I have to say, when we were flying at our nationals, the Hobbit Museum had no appeal right now.
Why is the Hobbit associated with New Zealand?
That's where Lord of the Rings films.
Oh, the movies. I got it.
Yeah, I didn't.
When you say Lord of the Rings, I immediately think the books. I don't think the movies.
I think of Ringmasters myself, but you know, I'm looking
Yeah.
for the big Ringmaster-a-thon later in October. I'm thinking I've got to build a new Super Ringmaster ready for the event. My old Ringmaster's fine, but the covering's all starting to split, and I just want to build a lighter, newer one.
I was about to say, you telling me in that hangar right behind your head, there's not a Super Ringmaster hiding?
There is.
I see the runner. I see the elevator with number 16 on it.
Yep, that's the one. Now, that model's really old. I made it back in the mid-'80s.
Is it Silk and Dope?
Silk and Dope, yep.
I'd
And,
get some Brodak Rejuvenator.
Yeah.
See if
Yeah,
that stuff works really good. I don't know exactly what it is.
Does it relieve some of the stretch, you think? Does it take stretch back out?
It might. I'm not sure exactly how it works, but I guess it softens. Somehow it softens that dope up and gets it, you know, like it is when it's like 6 months old and really nice. And
the problem is I covered it with Silk and Dope, but then I went over it with a 2-pack urethane to seal it.
oh, okay.
So it won't probably work on that, but it won't be too hard to build a new one. I think one of the Bob Mears, I think, that bought up the Barry Baxter's plan service has the Super Ringmaster amongst the plans, and I've been looking around trying to get a plan for one rather than buy the whole kit and just try and select better wood and build another one. Even if I used another Enya 45 like I used before, it would be quite nice.
Yeah.
Enya with a beautiful motor for it. It was a nice combo.
Could you strip it and just recover it, Gerald?
I could do, but it's done a lot of flying and it's probably quite fuel soaked by now.
Oh, okay.
So it's flown in a lot of contests as a classic model, vintage model. So I'm quite keen to try and build a lighter replacement.
Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be
One of
nice.
those, I built it so long ago. It works well, but I know I could do better now. And the tank could probably be improved, and the control system. They get a bit scary when you've flown them for a long time and you don't know how much wear there is in the bell crank or the lead outs.
Spontaneous disassembly in mid-flight is not ever a good thing.
And I seem to have a habit of doing that. I fly them until they fall apart on me, and it's not a good look.
I do the same thing. I fly mine till they fall apart. But
That's
usually that
about
isn't that
7
long.
or 8 flights.
Yeah. It's like, damn, I got to build another new one.
Yeah, it seems to happen to me when I'm at a contest. It falls apart on you, and it's not a good look. With that one, I thought, no, I'll keep it. It won its last contest at its flew. I'll leave it at that note. I won't push it any further.
Yeah, it's probably the best thing is like after so long, they become a friend, and you don't want it to just
Yeah,
disassemble
that's
itself.
kind of how I feel about my old shoestring. It's
Yeah.
one of the few long survivors I have outside of my half-A fleet.
All the Ringmasters never crashed. It's never had a crash. It's had a few hard landings, and the landing gear have been bent back a few times, but it's never had a good whack into the ground where I've had to repair it.
I know that ringmaster right here has.
Yeah.
Second flight, I went inverted right into the ground. Wow.
Gerald, when you build a ringmaster, do you leave the spar in it, or do you leave that out?
Well, I built it as per the kit with that one that I built.
With the spar in it, then, yeah.
Um,
They say that spar doesn't really do anything structurally, except that it's a liability for the ribs. When you nose in, it'll slide forward and tear the ribs apart. But when I built my Yak 9, which is a lot like the same wing, I took advice of Philly Flyers, and they're big on leaving the spars out of ringmasters and Sterling kits, and so I left it out of that one.
So it's only held by the leading and trailing edge?
Yeah, but it's a small wing anyway. It's plenty stiff.
Yeah, a lot of those older planes were very much over-engineered. I thought the spar was there to build the wing on, in a way, hold it into alignment. That's what I sort of thought it would mainly serve, holding it in alignment. And some of the early models have got
the Philly guys call that spar the rib ripper.
And that's what it is, because whenever I crashed, this went that way.
Yeah.
And
Without
only
the spar, they don't do that. Without the spar, they don't do that.
Oh, no kidding. Well, I guess you could slide the spar in and build it, and then slide it out at the end.
Yeah. That's I think the idea some people have about it. But I didn't even build mine with it in. I just built it, blocked it up on the table with a homemade jig made out of balsa square blocks, and it came together fine.
Okay. Yeah, the last one I did was that little Stunt 15 or whatever, and that has top and bottom spar. It doesn't have that one in the middle of it.
What you have is real spars. These aren't. This thing in the Sterling Ringmaster is not really a spar, so to speak, as far as the architectural significance goes.
Yeah, I got plans for it. Somebody put them online, and I went down and had them printed out and stuff. I just never built the original Ringmaster.
I got plans.
I have one that we used to let people train on, and that gets all busted up, and I stick it back together, and wheels go through the wing, and I'll just throw a patch on it. But you get so many points for new flyers, so I always bring that out. It's got an old McCoy 35 on it, and we fire it up and get them to take off and land, and hopefully that it gets. Last year it made it through all three. The last landing bent the gear all up and stuff, but it didn't poke any holes in the wing.
Yeah.
But we hope the hard landing's the last one of the day.
Yeah.
But 2 years ago, the first flight, it planted hard and ripped the nose off. I had to re-glue the nose back on and stuff. But
I got plans for a Ringmaster that's classic legal. I only looked at it once, though. I can't show a significant difference between it. I'll bust it out in a minute.
The original had the one I got that I let everybody fly. I bought the thing, I think for $5 with the motor on it and everything else. It was all gummed up and, had holes all in the wing and stuff. But that had the polywog wing on it.
Oh, does it really?
Yeah.
That's an odd looking shape.
Yeah, yeah, polywog, and I guess that was the first one. I don't know how old this airplane is.
Yeah, it's like the original Vico Chief with the polywog wing. They reckon they're pretty inefficient, but some of the free flight models have a undercamber that's inefficient, but it works well. It still keeps them in the air.
Yeah. Well, this one too has a basswood fuselage.
That would be quite well, would last, wouldn't it? It'd be, I suppose, like a pine fuselage. The best would.
Yeah. Well,
the weight.
that plane, I've got that foam wing trainer that's called a Yuki, and it's got a pine fuselage.
Oh, okay.
That's the Tom Morris one, isn't it? The Yuki.
Mine outdates Tom Morris. I'm not sure actually what its origins are.
I forget who did the Yuki. I know that somebody built them, and a lot of people liked them for a long time, and then
It's a funny looking little plane, but it flies great. Nothing fancy about it. It's just a pine stick with a wing and an elevator on it, and that's about it.
I want to try that. What, Sakatumi?
Yeah.
I want to try one of them.
Will Davis just finished fixing one up for somebody. It's a pretty cool little plane with the geodetic rib formation in it.
They say they fly good.
I went over to my parents on the weekend and pulled out a whole lot of models out of my parents' attic. They're getting on, and I had to clean out their attic, and I got about 20 combat models out of the attic.
Wow.
And I figured I can remotor them. A lot of them, they range from size from 049 combats up to a lot of really 35 size combats that I was using KMB 3.5s on, and I'll set them up with like some old Fox 35s, and Otto was flying one of them on the weekend, and Max. They both had a go at it, and they had a whale of a time. I just set it up with a big proper 10.6 on it. It was one of those 36 slant plug ones, one of these I had on it. The slant plug 35, and I just made up my own Venturi.
Oh, yeah.
With the piece pipe on it, and that worked really.
Is that a 36?
Yeah, that's the 36. There's a 29 version and then a 36. That's the radio one. The radio one's got the longer shaft and more prop thread on it. And once you take the carb out, you can put in your own Venturi. And with that one, in the end, they flew it, and then Otto did a vertical 8 into the ground and broke the leading edge. But yeah, I made up the Venturi for it myself, and I was just using the little piece pipe on it, and that worked really well. I was quite happy. So I've got 2 more like it. Yeah, that's the piece pipe. That was the Venturi that I made up.
Yeah, I love that. I got a couple of them 36s, and I love them. I just don't have mufflers for them. I'm going to have to get something. I'll have to look to find a muffler that'll work on it. You know, then I could fly it. But I love the engine run and everything else of that. I mean, you just set it, and they run the same all through the flight.
I had OS Venturi. I mean, the OS needle and the homemade Venturi. And that was very easy to adjust because it's angled back, and they couldn't demolish the needle. But in the end, he hit it so hard he broke the leading edge. In the end, but I've got 2 more of them, and I can repair that one with probably a bit of dowel in the leading edge. 2 more over here.
George Gonzalez said it's a tonic to hear us talk every Monday and Friday nights. George doesn't have anybody to talk to down there.
Where's he at?
I'm glad we can be here for you, George.
Where's he at?
He's in Colombia, South America. I guess I should be calling him Jorge. I think that's how he pronounces his name, Jorge. Is that correct? Is that correct, George? Anyway, we'll see if he answers that question while Gerald shows us this.
Didn't he get on a couple times?
He hadn't been, but he hadn't been able to get into Stunthangar for some reason. We've gotten him a new password, and he knows his name. So I don't know.
I remember him getting on there a few times. It was cool seeing the stuff that he gets down there.
Yeah, it must be frustrating. I know if you can't get in there, it's hard watching it one way and not really being able to participate. But
yeah, I try to keep up with what they're typing over there, but some nights
I can't get anything to come up
on the chat box.
Yeah, to list all available commands, enter */sub and star. I don't know.
It doesn't seem to be working.
I just go to the YouTube watch page and click the 3 dots at the top of the chat box, and then select pop out, and then it's its own window. You can resize it as a narrow column and drag it over to the left of our Hangout screen. And that's the way I can look at y'all and it at the same time. Anyway.
Oh, well, 2 more of them, but I can re-engine with the 36s. They were running, these ones were running rear exhaust with crankcase pressure, and
Okay, yeah.
too noisy. Again, it's a similar problem to what you had, Steve. It was just way too noisy to run a motor like that. So if I can re-engine them with the 36 using the little Titone muffler, that'll be great.
Now, were these your airplanes, or did your dad fly combat?
No, these were mine. I built these back about 1990, and I've got some motor models going back to about 1970 that I inherited, but my first models are from the early 80s that I built, combat models. So I should send you a picture of, I'll post something on Facebook of all the ones I dug out, because it's like an evolution of combat models going back to the 70s forward, and some of them are very old models. Some were diesel, and those ones that I built were my own design. That was before the Russian models came along with the very robust construction. Yeah, the Russian style ones just changed the whole breed of combat model. But most people here fly with a F2D styled models with a 2.5 with a muffler using bladder pressure, and it's a lot harder than flying with a 35 or even a 19 diesel like I did in the past. I used a 19 diesel, but I was completely uncompetitive. So it was too hard because I had to start the motor and run out to the circle because everybody had too much difficulty starting my diesels. So I just gave it away in the end and stopped flying combat.
They don't like to restart hot, do they?
They're easy to restart hot, but it's getting the setting when they're cold. And if it's a cold day and you're starting from scratch, it takes a while to warm them up, and you've got to have the right technique for starting a diesel. And in the past, I did well flying diesels in contests, but now the glows have evolved so much that to pull out an old POW-19 and compete against some of the modern glows, you've really got to be in your own class. And it's where in England they've got like a diesel combat just for diesels, and it makes it a bit easier. I suppose it'd be like mixing spark ignitions with modern stunt engines. They're just so far apart now. They've just gone such a long way since the original Super Cyclones or OK60s. You look at what the modern PA feels like. I was holding a guy's PA65 at the nets, and I just thought, wow, that's just so much more power than my Atwood 60. It felt like 3 times the power on a stunt model.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
I put something
on right now.
Did you get anything through the chat group? I put in hi and send.
Yeah, I just saw it pop up over your head, but we don't use that chat box.
Oh, you don't?
No, we use the chat box that's on the YouTube watch page.
Yeah, I got you high though. Yeah, it appears there, but yeah, like you said, nobody else could see it probably.
I had to open the chat box because I usually don't open it, but yeah, there it is.
Oh, okay, because I used to be able to see that on there, but I don't know how to get into the other chat box.
Well, if you go to the YouTube watch page, then you can get there from either YouTube or go to the same thread where you got this link. Down farther below, I post the link to the YouTube watch page. And if you click that video open and then click the Stunthangar logo at the bottom of the video screen, you'll go to the actual YouTube Stunthangar page, and there'll be a chat box on there. And you can click the 3 dots at the top right of that chat box and pop it out and resize it to a column and put it wherever you want it. And, and then you can put it where it's convenient and it doesn't get in the way of our pictures here.
But
that's where the chat box we're watching is.
Yeah, that would probably really screw me up.
You have to mute it, and sometimes it still seems to interfere. If you've got YouTube running in the background, even when you mute it, sometimes it seems to interfere.
No, not if you mute YouTube and then pop the chat box out and then just minimize that whole page. You don't even have to leave it open. The chat box will stay open on its own.
I'm lucky I can get on here. So I mean, there was months where I couldn't do nothing. I ended up going to buy another computer, and this one works, and I do this, and it's like, that's it.
Yeah.
You don't want to risk losing what you've got. I know how you feel tonight, having had so much difficulty getting in. I don't want to try popping up.
Well, I
You got your at the bench thread on Stunthangar open right now?
Do I got the thread open on Stunthangar?
Now, I was asking if you had the Stunthangar page, the at the bench thread open on another tab right now.
Yeah, Stunthangar video hangout on another tab.
Okay, so click on my latest post that's got tonight's links in it.
Because when I throw it or whatever, it stays on pretty good with the bobby pin that's already in my hand. And then it looks all like nice. So I can see
Yeah.
Take it.
Hey, let me see. I'll go. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I'm on the page now, and I go down. See, don't panic. WW something.
That's my signature you're looking at. My first post will be titled Video Hangout Monday, May 21st, 2018. And open that thread. Or you might have it open already. And it's got the link to this video hangout.
Yeah, I got that part.
Okay, well, look lower and see where it says the link to the YouTube watch page is, and then it's posted under that.
Oh, that's your picture. Okay. Yeah. So I click on that?
Yeah, click on that. Under that.
Oh, that's your picture. Okay.
Okay. Now, yeah, click on that. Yeah, mute that video screen or just stop it. Okay. Okay. Now, yeah, click on that. Yeah, mute that video screen or just stop it.
Okay, I muted it. Now can you hear me again?
Yeah. Okay. So now all you're looking at is a YouTube video right now, right?
Yep, and down at the bottom I see settings.
Yeah, do you see a little YouTube logo down there?
Yep.
Click it. That'll open the watch page where the chat box is. You'll have to mute the video screen on that page too.
Okay, it's still muted.
Okay. And the chat box takes a minute to pop up.
All right, yep, chat box popped up.
Okay, see the three dots at the top right of the chat box?
Yeah.
Click them and select pop out chat.
Okay.
Now close every other window except for the chat box and our video. Just close them or minimize them.
Okay. I got that, but I lost.
Hover over the Chrome icon on your taskbar with your mouse, and you'll see your popped out chat box.
Yeah, I see that.
Select it. Now you can drag it and reshape it and put it anywhere you want it. And I got mine a screen tall width, height, and about a 3-inch wide column, and I just drag it over next to my video.
Anything you want.
I have to make the video screen a little narrower so it all fits on my window. Do you see all the texts that are going on in there?
Oh, we've lost them. We've lost Steve. Oh no.
We killed Steve. He'll be back. Here he comes. Hopefully he closes chat box. You still got your chat box open, Steve?
No, it kicked me out of everything.
Uh,
Oh well.
well, screw with it later. But that's how you do it.
Right.
Yeah, I'll have another go at it next time if I've got a better internet connection.
Do you get a notification from YouTube when we go live?
I did tonight, and it was on time.
Clicking on that,
just like an hour later.
Oh, okay. Well, clicking on that'll open that watch page, or just go into the Stunthangar home YouTube page. You'll see the video, but you can go to that and mute it, open the chat box, minimize the rest, and just leave the chat box and our Hangout video open, and you can shape it up to where it fits on your screen. But that's how we're doing it. That's how I'm doing it.
Well, it's neat that the chat shows and the replays later. It didn't used to always show on the replays, and now at least you know who was talking and what the conversation was going on about.
I'm glad they've started doing that.
It's a great feature. Well, hopefully Hangouts will continue a bit longer. I know you're saying in the start of the last Hangout that it's supposed to end.
Yeah, it was going to supposedly disappear in April, but we're still here. So I don't know. I'll be here as long as we still have it, and when it's gone, we'll find some other way to do it.
You got that right, girl.
We're just got to try and keep it continuing. So it's like the whole hobby. You've got to struggle a bit to keep it alive these days. We don't have the big, huge numbers that all the drone flyers have. They've got all the publicity and all the materials and interest. I struggle just to keep our club functioning, running along. We don't have that many members. I've been the secretary treasurer since 1990, and I've got to do a new constitution for the club for our tax department, and I dread doing that. I've been putting it off. I'm not a legal person, but
if y'all got a president, a club president, an active club president.
We do have an active club president. He's the only member of our club that's been a member longer than me, David Ackery. But the constitution part of it, I've been helped by our overall body. It's like the AMA. We call it Model Flying New Zealand. They've helped send me a basic template, but it's all wrong. I have to redo it because we're not an incorporated society. And my wife offered to help that one, draft up a constitution, but things like that, doing the keeping the everybody up to date, making sure they've got current membership cards and getting their newsletters and keeping everybody happy is an ongoing long task, but because I've probably got more time than a lot of them, I end up doing it. But, yeah.
There we go. Look, 20-pointer right here.
Oh, it's looking good. Looking good, Jamie. Yeah, the colours look very sticker-like. Like a Don Still sticker with a slightly different shape.
I am currently making a picture for Steve to look at that will show him exactly what it is I'm seeing.
My favorite thing on this plane is just that exhaust detail I added. But one thing I know, I'm gonna have to.
Yeah, it looks
See,
neat.
I don't know if you can see it right here. Probably got it. You can kind of. I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to tell. But right here on the wing, you can see where it kind of comes up. And then different weathering and whatnot on the wing. But I need to turn the tongue muffler around because after flying, I got two spots that bubbled on the fuselage. And my guess is just from the hot exhaust hitting it. So I'm going to turn the tongue up around.
Facing out.
It goes out. Yeah. Got the new tank
Let's do the tab on it that you put on there.
Oh, about that tab, I forgot. When I was packing it in the truck Saturday, it broke off.
Oh.
Not thinking, I grabbed it, and it was like a cellophane plastic that's probably about a 16th thick, and it was at an angle. So like it was straight, and then it went up at an angle. and it snapped. And I had meant to get to that night, probably tomorrow, but I'm gonna make one out of balsa. Yeah, I mean it ain't much of an angle, 20 degrees maybe. I don't know. It isn't too much. It'll be easy to do. And one way I heard to do it was with a Don Crane El Dorado. Take a Coke can, glue it on there, and just bend it till you find the angle that it likes. And then
we actually
just
there
make
at
one
the dance one year. They took a Coke can or a piece of aluminum I had or something. They cut it and they slit the wing and just slid it in the wing and glued it in there. Because it's so thin, and then you could tweak it.
Yeah,
was,
on the V.
But it was good that I have tons of aluminum at this shop. That is the thin aluminum. That's it. That's actually thicker than a Coke can. So I could shape it, probably won't flutter as much. So that actually might be ideal instead of gluing balsa.
Look like something happened to Rusty.
Yeah, hang on.
Oh.
I'm screwing around with screen share. I'll be right back.
Oh, okay. Oh, there he is.
Yeah, let me try screen share in this. And this, I'm going to show you what I'm seeing when I'm looking at the chat box.
I need to head out of here. I got to get up early in the morning.
Yeah, I got to get here pretty quick myself.
But next time, Friday, I'll probably be coming live from Houston, from the hotel.
Oh, that'd be good.
Live from Houston.
Live from Houston.
Now, will you drive truck, Jamie?
Was
You
that?
drive semi?
No.
You just got, what, a service van or something where you go all over the place?
Company truck.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just a basic company truck. But this weekend I'm going to be flying in Houston at the contest. So.
Oh, okay. Because I know you're always in Texas. Seems like you go down in Texas a lot and stuff. And
Year and a half we have been. We got a few schools we're doing there right now. We knocked one out in 3 days. Technically 2 days, honestly.
Hey, Steve, click on my icon and see what I'm screen sharing.
oh yeah, I see that now.
Okay, see the chat box over on the left?
Yeah.
That's the popped out YouTube chat box. And it's just, I had to make this main big screen with Gerald in it narrower. And then I just drug that chat box over and shaped it to fit in that slot. And then I minimized all the YouTube pages, except for that one. And that's how you do it. So.
All right. Yeah, I'll give it a try next Friday again and see if I can't get it to work.
Yeah.
And I can see what the guys are saying. But yeah, there for a while when I went, it was kind of nice because when I went over there to chat, it would all come up for me, what everybody was saying, but it's not linked in somehow now. I lost it.
I've done it in the past. I've brought it up, but I've kept it as a separate window and just flick between the windows. But what Rusty's saying makes a lot more sense. You can just shrink your main window and look at it on the side. It makes sense. I'll try it next time, but I don't want to try it tonight. I don't want to risk it.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to hit it. I'm tired. I got such a headache from that damn dope that my left eye is just killing me right now. But I don't know if I was doing something in my sinuses or what, but.
And when I start playing up, when I've had enough and I need sleep, yeah. Body tells you what you don't want to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think be good to upgrade whatever kind of mask you're using for chemical protection, and because you don't want to fuck with that. I mean, you got too many years left in you to be able to have to stop using airplane dope.
Well, everybody says that they can smell it when they come into the house. I can never smell it. But maybe something in my brain or something's picking it up, but it's just not from. I got plenty of ventilation, and I mean, it just about freezes you out when it's cool outside. I got so much air coming through the workshop and everything, but it's just like once I smell it, it's just instant headache. I don't know. It's almost like an allergic reaction to the smell.
Yeah, some people definitely do get that. That's not, you're not imagining it. It definitely happens. My mother gets that. She gets a headache when somebody starts doping a mole. But yeah, I find it's pretty nauseous after a while. I just have to leave it and go and do something else, take a break from it.
But it was crazy because we were about 90% done with the model. And then Samantha and I both got a headache, got sick. That's when it got cold and stuff. And we're trying to still bring ventilation. And now for the last 3 weeks, I mean, it's just been killing me. I was feeling okay this weekend. And then last night again, we went down there and finished doping the fuselage in a couple places. And she was doing the dope, and I was just down there. I wasn't even close to it. And I got that headache, and now every time today I walk down in that basement, instant headache. I just don't understand it.
Any way to roll it outside and do it?
No, it rained all day today.
Get a 3M organic filter. You get ones for spraying that are really quite good. They'll even work with a two-pack paint, even though you're not supposed to. But they really, if you can't smell it, you know it's doing a good job. They cost a bit, but if you go along to either a good paint supply store or a really good hardware, I normally get the 3M ones, and they've got the separate cartridges, pre-filters that you can put on, and they work.
The mask I got has the double cartridges and everything. And it's not when I'm spraying, it doesn't when I got the mask on. It's just like
the odor.
Yeah, the odor of it, because the fan has pulled out everything out of the basement.
It could be getting in through your skin rather than your nose too. Who knows?
Yeah, I didn't think about that. If it's coming through my skin or whatever, but yeah, I don't understand it. It's just been lately, and
you might end up having to go to some of the waterproof, the water-based finishes. There's been a lot of posts on Stunthangar if you go back through it and read about water-based finishing. Water-based duct.
A bunny suit that's got a built-in filtration system and an air tank.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess that's what I'm gonna have to do.
Get a space suit.
Get a scuba. Get a scuba deal, a tank on the back. Walk around.
Yeah, full-blown wetsuit and everything. That'll do it.
Yeah, keep it off my skin and.
Yeah, well, it sounds like it's the odor more than just the actual vapor or the fumes or the the particulate in the air. It's the odor of it that you're finding difficult. And
well, I've always been susceptible to perfume. That it'll give me a migraine. When I was young, I had migraines. My wife, anybody couldn't wear perfume around me. Samantha she does a little bit, but can't spray it in the house. It's like go outside and put it on because it'll give me an instant migraine.
Yeah.
And whenever we went to church,
like sticking your nose in a rose bush bed, you know.
Yeah.
Because that's what that's made out of, is floral scents.
Well, yeah, and I've known since I had the chemo and stuff that it affects me, and even mowing the yard. I kept saying I think I'm going to have to wear a damn mask to mow the yard, because I mow the yard and then I get all plugged up and get a migraine. So it's something to do with.
Yeah. I'm severely allergic to oak. If I were to go out and try to trim oak limbs and clean up a overhanging tree or something like that, then I'd be so sick I couldn't stand it with headache and nausea. And I've had to go to the hospital for that one time when I was helping Holly outside trimming some oak trees, and she said, "Never again will I let you anywhere near me when I'm cleaning on oak trees." So
I've been doing a lot better. It's been 12 years since I had the chemo, and I was allergic to bee stings, and if I got bit by even a mosquito or whatever, it would bump up huge. And they said it would go away, and that it pretty much has. I got, my immune system back, and I haven't really been having that many problems. And this all of a sudden now with this, it's just.
Yeah. Be sure and tell your doctor about it. next time you go, and get him to run an immune panel on you, and see if they can, and tell him what you've been using, you know, and you might even take a can of it to him so he can get the MSDS or print it out for him.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go see him tomorrow night because
see if you can take the MSDS on that dope.
He's a flying buddy for RC.
Yeah.
And they fly
Oh, so he knows what you're talking about then. Good.
Go out there and see him at the field and ask him. But, all right, guys. I'll talk to you a little later and see you Friday.
Okay, Steve. See you Friday.
All right, take it easy.
Good night.
Good night, guys.
Later, Steve.
Yeah, I enjoyed watching Spucky's video, the Memphis Valve video. That was quite neat.
Yeah, that was a good video. He had said something in it that he was afraid if I listened to it, it was going to hurt my feelings. So he called me Sunday morning before I had a chance to know about it, and he had told somebody when he watched a tutorial of him standing and doping a plane, said, "Don't watch Rusty." And he was afraid I was going to hear that and have my feelings hurt. And so I never think of Sparky as worrying too much about everybody's feelings, but he didn't want me to be hurt if I saw that, so he explained it.
He must have thought about it a bit. He must have thought about it after he said it for a while, and must have got to his conscience.
Yeah, maybe so. I'm sure he made it in jest, or just telling somebody where to and where not to look on his website. But that guy he was talking to is not going to go look at his website either, I'm betting. He had
I wouldn't put money.
What'd you say, Jamie?
I wouldn't put money on it.
He had that guy that he was talking to probably talked to so many people he doesn't remember much of anything anybody told him by now.
There's not always a lot of connection between full-size aircraft and the people that are really into the restoration or working on full-size aircraft and models. I think you get more of a connection between the actual people that fly the aircraft and modelers. We seem to have a lot of people that flew that then come over and do model planes as they get older. But a lot of those that seem to work on the aircraft aren't really that interested in the models. That's from my own experience working at the Museum of Technology, Museum of Transport and Technology as a young lad, helping them work on their Lancaster and other aircraft there. But it was great flying there anyway, putting on an aeromodeling display. But most of the people again coming through to look at the full-size aircraft weren't that interested in the models, as we learned as well. It's the odd one. But,
people that are a lot of the old guys, later on get interested in scale. They want to reproduce what they flew or worked on or something like that, and get a passionate interest in it.
Yeah, I think that's where the scale is still quite different to stunt. Stunt flyers are trying to perform aerobatics. They're putting on their show, whereas the scale flyers are reliving something else.
Yeah.
The difference there. And the combat flyers and the team race flyers are very competitive amongst themselves, and they're trying to lead the technology with all the latest ideas. But again, I think they do mix a bit, but there's still a difference.
Yeah, they don't cross over to the aviation society in any real way. Certainly not with combat. I don't think I've ever seen full-scale aviation combat before, not except for with bullets and rockets, but not quite the same idea.
No, the reverse of that, I suppose, is just when they used model aircraft as target practice, which is something that they've done for a long time, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's a lot of manufacturers, I think KMB and Merco, they all made aircraft for drones for the military.
Mm-hmm.
It was a big part of their business. I believe it right. I think ones like the Sportster, the KMB Sportster, was designed with that application in mind for military drones, where they might just be a one-use wonder. And Merco made a very stripped-down, basic 60cc engine for the RAF to shoot it, and it didn't really have to be anything flash. It just had to run, nothing more than that. Get a target aircraft up in the air that they can test their guns out on, test their aim on. And I don't know if you watched Lock and Load with Lee Emery in the past. If you're into,
No, that doesn't sound familiar.
yeah, Lock and Load's very popular with all those that are really into guns in a big way. I imagine Daryl would probably really like it. He'd be the sort that he's really into. I've seen some of his videos. He's very much into firing old-fashioned weaponry, and he'd get a lot out of watching Lee Emery's Lock and Load. But on one of the episodes anyway, they're shooting at RC planes, and being control liners, it doesn't sort of offend you too much, but
No.
you're like, yeah, that's how they see it, just as an easy target.
I hope Terry's all right. I know he's been spending time, you know, with his wife, either looking after her or filling in for her, and so hadn't heard from him in a while, but I still get emails from him once in a while, so I know he's still out there. So hopefully he's watching us now and then.
Yeah, it's really a hard time for him. Cancer's never an easy one. It's all part of aging, but yeah, it's different for everybody. I just got a phone call just before while we were on Stunthangar. My father might come out of hospital tomorrow, and we're all looking forward to that. But by the time you get into your 80s, you're in and out of there all the time. If you can get a good run till you're 80, you've done well. But, yeah, Charles hasn't been on for a couple of sessions as well.
Well, let's see. We saw Daryl Monday night. I think. Not Monday, but Friday night. What, he wasn't on here? Oh, Daryl. Yeah, from Canada. Yeah.
It's
been a long time.
Yeah.
All right. See if that did it.
That sounds very intensive. What are you working on there, Jamie?
Bob Bishop just signed on with us. Hi, Bob.
Hi, Bob.
I upgraded the control horns for the twister.
Oh,
yeah. And it works.
Oh, I'll click on it and have a look at your control horns, Jamie.
Yeah, let me click that up. Tubers.
Now it still needs to be you need to be epoxied in, obviously, and all that other good stuff. But I use the I got this one. I bought the Brodak, upgraded to the Brodak stuff.
Yeah.
And,
it got a good solder joint on it.
It looked, man, this thing looks like it was just made like that. It's so smooth and
yeah, at least you don't have to worry about melting them as you solder on your washers.
Yeah.
But
that's still a lot hotter of a joint than a soldering joint, isn't it? That's braided with flame.
It looks super smooth. It looks like a fillet. It's that smooth, you know.
Yeah. That's put on with a flame, isn't it?
I would guess it'd been brazed on. That would be it. Now I still need to make one little notch in the trailing edge right here for it, so it'll sit down lower and the flaps won't be off the wing as much.
Yeah.
But I like it a lot better than using the old plastic control horns, and this wire, you know, seems a little more stout than that stuff that comes with the kit.
Yeah, it is.
Well, that's what caused my wing with the twister wing to crash on my profile behind me there. It was the control system giving out.
Make it work out just fine. I even bought another one because this one I think is offset to the right. The other one offsets to the left. I got them opposite, so I got one for there as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm quite happy with that.
You're going to use the standard 3-inch.
The flaps aren't dead even. Still needs to be glued in. And once it's glued in or epoxied, whatever, I'll be able to tweak it as needed. Because man, after this weekend, I need to jump back on this thing and finish it.
I've got a SIG kit there, a twister kit I was going to put together and give Otto a go at it, but no, I think I'll get him flying his manoeuvres better with these combat models first. I had to write off another one of our stunters after Max dinged it, inverted, and I couldn't repair it. It was just too badly damaged. So that's where I've got to get those basic manoeuvres first.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah, both boys were flying well on the weekend, having a whale of a time.
All right, so now for sure I gotta go.
One of the chaps we fly with was having problems with his hip. He's got to get a hip replacement, and he got me to take over flying his model. He was flying a Hellcat with a little diesel on it, and the wind was gusting a bit, and he's saying, keep it low, but there was a basic problem. He was having problems with his hip. He said, you take over the controls, but he couldn't duck, so I had to go over his head. I was trying to fly over his head, and he was standing into the wind, and when I went over his head, the wind caught it, and it was either a crash into him or lose the model, and I lost his model, but luckily the ground's very soft now. No damage to it, really. But,
I tell you what, I flew a plane this past Saturday that was probably the best flyer I flew yet, and it was a converted SIG phaser.
Phaser? Which one?
The phaser is a RC plane, but you can convert it to control line.
Oh, yeah.
With a 46 LA with, I think, what he had on it, an 11.5 prop. And, man, that thing was so smooth. And just, I mean, right before the tank ran out, I had it about a foot on the ground. That's, I mean, and the wind really wasn't no wind, to be honest. But, I mean, it just wouldn't track up and down. I mean, just steady.
Yeah.
You know, I'll just get lower and lower and lower. Huh?
I think I know the face is a 3D. It's a profile model, but it's like a 3D RC model.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people say, you know, and some people online say they don't make good control on converting it. Well, Perry Rose on Stunthangar, he's in our club. He did it. I want to say he did a conversion. And man, with a 46 LA, I find it pretty nice. Now, as for doing a full pattern, I'm not going to say how good it does it, but for a beginner, I like it.
If there was a biplane,
flies pretty nice.
There's a SIG biplane. I think I've seen that converted to control line too. A similar sort of model, but I can't remember the name. But I've got one that is a
the hog bike or whatever.
Yeah. No, I can't. Yeah, it's gone on my head, but I can't remember the name. But,
Look at Gerald. You got a naked lady on his wall. I never know now. Hair was in the way.
Here you go. Similar. This is one of those RC 3D thingies. Fly it past the camera. It's a GB.
Oh yeah, GB.
With a huge 3D styled wing. I got it cheap as a ready to fly because some of the ribs had been broken, so I had to strip the covering off and repair the ribs, but it's got absolutely minimal structure, but a huge area. It's like a 900 square inch area wing.
Oh yeah, throw a bell crank and some flaps, man.
Yeah, I think I've got the ailerons there and the tail all there, but yeah, talking about the phaser reminded me I've got that thing sitting there. That would be a good conversion. Control line.
Like even in the drawing, it shows you how to do the conversion. I think.
So probably have something on Stunthangar about doing the conversion. Yeah, it's probably very similar to this. I think the fuselage is hollow. It's got a degree of pine in it, but a lot of it, the back of it, you can feel it's all hollow. They mount the servo for it in here. It'd just be a matter of if the control surfaces are big enough and see what the weight's like. Maybe I'll weigh it all and see what the wing loading's going to be like, and maybe chuck a motor on it and put a bell crank in it because I've got the covering off it underneath. So maybe it wouldn't be that hard a conversion too. Another model for the fleet.
All right, y'all. I need to run, so I'll holler at y'all Friday.
All right, Jamie. Thanks for coming. We appreciate it.
Nah,
And
not a problem.
Well,
have a
night,
good
Jamie.
week. We'll see you Friday.
Maybe see you at
All
Houston.
right.
Eh?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to go live on Facebook too if I can.
Okay.
Try. It depends on if I could get a Wi-Fi signal out there. I'll probably try to go live on Facebook from my laptop, but just have to see. Laters.
All right, take it easy, man.
Good night.
Later.
I am trying to find George here so I can send him his password again. There it is. Yeah, there it is. Copy and paste. Okay. And send. Okay, George, check your email. Your username and your password is in that email. And if you can't get it, oh, we got a new joiner here. I didn't see while I was away. Iris Fletchmeyer. Wait, this stream is aeromodeling. That's pretty cool. Okay. Thanks, Iris. Appreciate it. Are you an aeromodeler? Do you build and fly model airplanes? I'll type Iris I'll type Iris a note.
It'll be good to get other people on board, like you say. I might have to take off in a minute. The school bus should be home any minute now.
I think it's just you and me, so I think I'll go ahead and hit the hey when you take off. And we got 9 viewers, but I got nothing, no show and tell for them or anything.
That's
I'll hang on a minute and see if Iris comes back with an answer. And don't know, sometimes. Let's see. George says, thank you for the password. All right. Well, I hope that helps George get in. George, I hate to say it, but we're about to sign out of here. Let's go ahead and call it, Gerald.
okay.
So, well, it was a pretty good Monday. It's 11:23, a little bit of a short show tonight, but thanks everybody for coming. We got 10 people watching us on YouTube right now. Bob Bishop's leaving us too. He's got to run. Hopefully we got George straightened out, and everybody, thanks for coming. And Gerald, have a great week, and tell the boys hi and the wife, and we'll see y'all Friday. All right.
Okay.
Take it easy. Signing out. Good night.
No.